Today marks the new beginning of a new chapter on this channel, in my life, in my business. I found a boat listed on Marketplace and it was $1,000. It had a 6 horsepower Mercury from the 1960s. And I told the guy, hey, I got an SKS and a 12 gauge shotgun. You want it? He said, sure. So we traded straight across. I basically traded him $150 worth of guns for this boat that retails for about $775. This is a West Marine 9.4 water tender. I call it a kayak yacht. But nonetheless, this little thing is going to be the platform of what we are going to build a serious mini boat and see if we can flip it up and get a John boat. So this is episode 1. I'm gonna tell you about it. But the thing is this is not how I received the boat. What you're looking at right now is the condition of the boat when I picked it up. Yes, those are literal holes drilled into the bottom of the boat, 6 of them. And it came with this 1960s Mercury. And let's just say I was a little nervous when I picked this thing up, but it's hard to argue with basically free. Absolutely filthy. And I didn't know where the hell I'm gonna put it. I live in an apartment complex, which I have solved now in my storage unit, but the look on my face says, oh, I don't know what I've gotten myself into. Take a look at this nasty hunk of plastic. So today I basically spent all day just kind of scrubbing off the surface dust, kind of dusting it out so that way I can get ready to start filling those holes. Speaking of those holes, I just took some simple Flex Seal rubber, liquid rubber paste stuff, and I basically just stuffed the holes. It'll be a short-term solution for now, but I'm really just focused on getting it cleaned up. And as you can see, it looks much, much better. Anyway, so my first attempt at cleaning the hole of this thing is I'm gonna start on the outside, and I just got this drill because mine shitted out on me, and drills are expensive, so I got this for like $40, and then I got this thing right here for $6, both on Amazon. This is a pretty cool charger, because you can plug and charge in your phone. It's an extra length battery, but we'll see how that works. And I'm just gonna rub some water on it. I thought about bringing some rubbing alcohol, but we'll see what this does. And hopefully this can clean a boat. Actually got some leftover baking soda from cleaning furniture. I might actually dump a little bit in here, see what happens. I don't know if it'll do anything. Oh, actually, you know what? I can probably dump it in this thing. Dump some in there. Then pour a little water in there. Oh yeah. Oh, no problem, dude. No problem. Ooh. This boat with just water, a circle brush on an electric drill, and baking soda seemed to really do the trick. I basically spent half a day just taking it to the entire thing, on the bottom, on the inside, and of course around the edges. So now it is actually looking like a little boat. first things first, I want to talk about what it's sitting on. I got really stoned last week, bought a jet ski stand. I don't have a jet ski, so luckily it's actually the perfect fit for this boat. But one of the main reasons I wanted this boat was because it only weighs, the base boat, 106 pounds. So I can lift this thing in the bed of my truck. And that's the only rule of this build, is it has to fit in the bed of a standard any pickup truck. So obviously this is a little plastic boat. It's made up of two parts, the main mold, and then you've got some wood framing and some styrofoam for the parts where you're gonna sit here, back there, here. The transom on the inside is actually wood, and maybe as well up here because people jump off of this, and it all just feels really sturdy. And I think this might have a place in the market. I could be wrong. Let's talk about upgrades, because that's the whole daggone point. Okay, so first of all, I had to do some cleaning. The previous owners drilled holes in the boat, which was not super appreciated. The idea was that it was in ponds, and when you'd bring in fish, the water would run through the hole, and then you have a drain plug off the stern and a drain plug off of the bow. But I just filled them with some heavy-duty flex paste. If you have any better permanent solutions, let me know in the comments below, but that's like 5 layers of flex paste, and nothing has came in or out of that since. We're gonna get a 46-pound thruster, a battery that is going to go right here, and it's gonna have a special housing to where you can charge your phones and you can plug in a household outlet. So that's gonna be super cool. Of course, we're gonna have our emergency paddle mounted on either side here. And on either side of this bench right here and on the other side, I'm installing netting. So my bilge pump is going to be on one side and then just more storage on the other side. So it's gonna be completely usable, and we are also going to have an anchor sit back here along with life jackets, little inflatable life jackets. So the battery for the motor, the anchor, and the life jackets will all fit in this cubby, which will be super cool. As for the actual decking, obviously to make it look like a real boat, we want to make it look less like plastic. So I'm getting marine foam decking, and it's going to cover all here. It's going to be gray with blue stripes. So this is going to be covered in that gray boat decking. The high points on the floor, so right here, through there, and there, the low points where the water's gonna collect will stay just straight plastic. It's gonna go right here in that cubby. The decking's gonna go around there, and it's also gonna go off the bow, so that way you can stand on the front of it, not slip and fish. So with this thing covered in the gray and blue decking, it's gonna look sweet. Now, to really make this little plastic boat look like a proper boat is I'm buying a $65 Amazon Bimini top that attaches at 3 points, and it's gonna cover mostly the entire boat. People put them on inflatable wraps. They put them on these, of course. People love putting these Bimini tops. But between the Bimini top and the flooring, that's only $100. So another whole point of this is to build a custom boat all on Amazon for dirt cheap. So literally every single item I pick up to build this boat, the viewers following along will also be able to, well, buy everything I did and did the same thing to their same water tender, and that's another point of this. Not only build a boat for super cheap for average people like me, but to just show you all of the accessories I have and that you can go get them yourself for dirt cheap. And this jet ski stand is actually super cool. Let me get off here. So the more I'm thinking about it, the easier it's gonna be to work when it's off of the ground. And another reason I decided to keep this jet ski stand was because when this thing is loaded down, like, okay, look at it. Tell me this is not going to take on water. This is going to take on some water for sure. Most boats do, and this one is definitely going to. Drain plug, like I said, on the bow and stern. So it's going to be fairly heavy when I pull it out of the water, especially with the motor, the battery, the top, all the accessories. I have a perfect size cooler with a fishing ruler that's going to fit right there and match the boat. So all this stuff is definitely going to probably push it closer to the 200-pound mark, especially with water in it. So my idea was, after a full day on the water fishing, as soon as we test this, it's going to be super heavy and hard to pull out of the water. So I'm thinking this will make it super easy to load in and out of the truck. And as for that old 1967 motor, I sold that for $200, which is more than enough to get a saltwater trolling motor. Thanks for watching the first introduction to the tiny boat build, flip, trade up to a bigger boat, whatever you want to call it. Boaty McBoatface will set sail by the end of this year. Stay tuned for the journey.